grid now lines up. Pole position on the outside of the road for that first corner. Behind, there'll be a bit of a gap. You'll get the LMP2 field, and then the same again further back for LMGT3. Counting down that then in the leading car. We'll get the instruction in a moment to head for the pit lane. The clock will start. It's all perfectly orchestrated, this, by race control, to get the lights to change, to get the flag to drop just on 4 o'clock, or as close to. Out of the chicane they come. Leading car dives for the pit lane. The drivers come up towards the lighting gantry, the 93rd. 24 Hours of Le Mans is underway. The two Cadillacs off the front row of the grid go toe-to-toe up towards turn 1. On the inside line, Albamba. On the outside line is Will Stevens. Stevens tries to brave it out on the outside line. He's just got his nose in front, as round the outside as welcome Julian Andlauer in the Porsche. Cadillac side by side for the lead. It's going to be Will Stevens ahead of Albamba. Third is Andlauer. There was a good start being made by Kevin Magnussen, but cars all over the curb. They rattle their way then for the first time down through the Dunlop S's. Cadillac leads Le Mans. Porsche goes second. The flag is waved from the LMP2, and then the GT3 cars. Aston Martin leading, BMW leading, Ferrari leading, Mercedes-AMG in the LMGT3 class. That's some pretty feisty racing for the first few corners, Graham.
Well, it certainly was. I think a bit of contact there in the middle of the pack, or towards the back of the pack in Hypercar. One of the Peugeots, I think, involved in that. We'll catch up with that as things settle down in about 25 hours.
So down the Mulsanne straight then they come for the first time, and you can see everybody on their toes looking for track position side by side for the lead, and Julian Andlauer goes through into the first chicane round the outside. So Cadillac led for about a quarter of the lap, but here, Peter Dunbrett, Julian Andlauer is on a mission.
I do wonder whether the Cadillacs worked their tyres hard enough on that outlap, because you could see the Porsche visibly side to side really working the tyres, and the Cadillacs were very stationary in a straight line. So
side by side, Peter, between the number 8 Toyota and one of the factory Ferraris, with the 83 just behind. So these are cars we do expect to be in the hunts. There goes the 83, looking to make the move, and does so.
Late on the brakes, wasn't he there, diving into the corner. Phil Hansen at the wheel of 83, the bright yellow Ferrari. And there, look, you've got the battle going on between number 99, Neil Jani at the wheel, and the Aston Martins, which are, in the case of 009, Marco Sorensen. 007 is Harry Tincknell. Right, you've done the chicanes, you go back onto the Mulsanne, down towards Mulsanne corner, where we've had people be caught out, of course, early on in the race in the past. Hard on the brakes, down through the gears, turn right, and up front, Julian Andlauer leads the way, and he's trying to build that gap as you go on board with Fred Makovici. His Alpine then, in the body of the pack in Hypercar, 12 he runs.
5 Porsche trying to pull away. Ferrari side by side with the 15. WRT, BMW 15 and 20 now together as the 499 number 50 goes through, sparking away from underneath the under tray of the BMW.
But Magnussen there got a bit hit and shouldered out wide, didn't he? Buemi back round the outside of Phil Hansen. René Rast in number 20 BMW is in 7th. Kevin Estre, by the way, 21st on the grid. He's up into 15th already in number 6 Porsche, so Estre's pulled the pin.
Absolutely. Julian Andlauer, he's off like the hare, isn't he? Already 1.8 seconds ahead, gapping the two Cadillacs. They're bottling up the field behind, but behind them, 2 and 3 wide as the Command Varnage come tumbling down now to the resurface section for the entry to the Porsche curves.
And Peter, you've still got people trying to weave around and get a bit of warmth in the rubber.
Yeah, so clearly it's not quite what they expected in the beginning. You know, the tyres just aren't quite in yet, and maybe Andlauer just worked that bit harder.
Yeah.
The Porsche might be just warming the tyres up slightly better than the Cadillac, because he's starting to drop them already.
So, at the end of lap 1, Julian Andlauer for Porsche, away like a stab rat, and he will lead the two Cadillacs down towards the chicane. There you can see in the queue, 4th, Nicholas Nielsen going after the Jota run cars, and Kevin Magnussen ahead of René Rast. The two BMWs have got themselves together. The best of the Toyotas, Sebastian Buemi. At the end of lap 1, Porsche leads Le Mans. Julian Andlauer, who is 2 seconds ahead of Will Stevens, Albamba 3rd.
Kevin Estre now with the Alpines. That's now a battle for 13th place. So Estre's made great progress. TDS Racing, the number 29 car, the Hansa Matthias Pesch, pulling away from Louis Delatraz. He's there in the 199 ahead of the 43 into Europol car, and then comes through the stream of P2 Oreca's